Hello everyone, and welcome to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I am DDO's community manager, Cordovan, and I'm going to be with you for the next hour. Consider this a preparatory for next week. Yep, this is well, I guess you could call it Cliff Notes if it was an hour long. Cliff-ish Notes version of the Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh ahead of our planned launch 1 week from today. Yes, that is happening. That's our current plan. 1 week from today, we'll be launching Update 50, Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh. That puts it at August 4th, 2021, by the way, for those watching this in the future. So we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on. I'm going to sneak peek a few things, up to and including a little bit of information about the various packages that Saltmarsh will be offered in. So, yeah, we're going to have that info on price as well. You will see the price tags and all that sort of thing. Most of the information that you're seeing today is in a near-finished state. And by that I mean we're launching on August 4th, and things are in the process of being staged and put together and what have you. So there is still room and time for errors. You know, some things could theoretically change, but for the most part, no, and that's why we're showing it with you, or showing this to you today here. So sit back, relax and enjoy, as they say. I think it's going to be a pretty cool show, and I don't know that we'll even have a lot of time for other gameplay, but if we do, we're just going to kind of hang out on one of the game worlds and have a lot of fun on the week ahead of the release of Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh. So, welcome everybody. Is the video frozen? Hopefully not. The video is not frozen for me. I am trying to go in 1080p, 30 frames per second instead of 60. That's to try to make this doable and look a little bit nicer here for the end result. So, let me know if you're having problems, but for the most part, it should be pretty alright. Yes, thank you for noticing, Zero Cool, by the way. Alright, let's kick off with something cool. I'm going to shut up for a minute, because in just a second, we are going to show you the launch trailer here for Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh. Very nice. That is going to be up on our YouTube page, potentially by the weekend here, but that's our launch trailer here for Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh. Maybe we'll tag it at the end, just to give people another chance to take a look at it who are watching this live. You saw a little bit earlier that, yeah, we're going to go straight into the packs, so let's do that. This is the current state of all of our editions for Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh. You can see the price tag. 20, 60, 100. Standard edition's going to get you the Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh. Monster Manual 8, and I can even tell you what's in it when we take a look at the release notes a little bit later on. Epic Destiny access. Now, many people already have access to Epic Destinies, but if you do not, this now will grant that to you on an account-wide basis. The Collector's Edition also has things like the Horizon Walker Universal Enhancement Tree and the Smuggler's Cosmetics, which we'll take a look at in just a second here. The Ultimate Fan Bundle will have Saltmarsh, Monster Manual 8, the Epic Destiny Access, the Horizon Walker Universal Enhancement Tree, the Smuggler's Cosmetics, the Unlimited Spark of Logic Access, Sentient Jewel, Dimensional Hireling Folder, and more bonus items that we will get into a little bit here in a second. Let's see what else we got here. This is on the... there we go. That's the Lizard Folk cosmetic item. The set, the pet, the hat, the mount. And looks pretty good. The Spark of Logic, I'm going to have to check up on. My understanding is it would be similar to the other Sparks we've had. So it should add to your filigree set, but that's my understanding. I actually have to look up the description of that one this afternoon as I'm working on the release notes. So I have to put a pin in that one. But that would be my understanding of what it is. So, all right, let me show you then the pirate cosmetics. Yeah. Good. Thank you, Kokomo Chobo, for checking out in chat. Does increase the filigree slot cap for a sentient weapon. So, yeah. Similar to the Spark of Memory and other sparks that are available in the game, but this one is its own, right? So another opportunity to do that. All right, just one more quick look at that lizard folk. How cool is that, huh? Yeah. And so now let's go to these packages. Oh, that one I've already shown you. Which one am I looking for? Here we go. This is the somewhat larger, expanded version of the edition comparison for Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh. So the standard edition will get you the content, the monster manual, the new monster manual, and Epic Destiny access, while the collector's edition will also get you the Horizon Walker Universal Enhancement Tree, the Helm, Armor, and Cloak Smuggler's cosmetics, the Smuggler's Mimic cosmetic pet, the mount. Also, we haven't mentioned that yet, but the Bullywug Rogue Hireling Heroic. Bullywug Rogue Hireling. So yeah, the permanent hireling that'll be available in the Collector's and Ultimate Edition is a Bullywug and is a rogue. Heroic. And that's in the Collector's Edition. If you go into the Ultimate Edition then as well, you will get that unlimited Spark of Logic. The Sentient Jewel of the Lizard Folk, new Sentient Jewel. The Lizard Folk cosmetics that we showed you a little bit earlier, the Helm Armor Cloak. The Baby Crocodile cosmetic pet that was in that screenshot. The Lizard Folk Armored Mount, also seen in the screenshot. The Epic version of the Bullywug Rogue Hireling, in addition to the Heroic one. The Dimensional Hireling folder, and then the Instant Teleport item to Stormreach. I can't quite think of what the name of that thing is right now. But it works similar to all the other teleport to the expansion style items that are in the expansion. So, there we go. That's the list. And this will be available for sale when Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh launches, when Update 50 launches, and that is currently set for Wednesday, August 4th. What is the asterisk on the hireling folder? I don't know. We'll have to double check. My guess is it would be something about the delivery method, so probably along the line of granted to the first character you log into after applying the purchase to your account. Something like that would be my guess. The other thing I can mention is that we are working also on a special VIP plan here. I don't have anything I can actually show you about that yet, but let me put back up that Lizard Folk cosmetic while I do a quick search, because we do have a VIP promotion thing that we're also going to be doing around that time. So let me call that up real quick. There we go. So to start with, VIPs will get a 10% discount on any edition of the Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh, as long as you have an active DDO subscription when you're making the purchase. You know, you've logged in like you're supposed to, you've got VIP on your account, you'll get 10% off the editions. And then we're also doing a limited time VIP gift. VIPs who purchase any edition of the Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh between August 4th, when it releases, and September 4th of 2021 will receive a Saltmarsh Elixir of Discovery, VIP Elixir of Discovery for all of their characters. The Saltmarsh VIP Elixir of Discovery will boost the chances of getting named loot from chests that ordinarily contained named loot by 15%. The potion will last for 3 hours. It's applied basically during checkout. As long as you're VIP, you'll get it. And how it is you'll get a claim ticket You'll turn in that claim ticket to the NPC Garthalmor, who's located in the Snapping Line Inn within the Saltmarsh public area. You'll redeem your claim tickets with Garthalmor at any time. You do need to make sure that you are VIP at the time that you speak to them to get your potion. And then claim tickets are only granted to VIPs who have made their purchase of any edition of Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh before 11:59 p.m. Eastern on September 4th. So there you go. As long as you were an active VIP and purchased one of the editions before the launch promotion ends on September 4th, any characters you make in the future will also get that claim ticket. Remember, your VIP status must be active at the time your character speaks with the NPC Garthalmor to turn the ticket in and receive the potion. So, there you go. I think that should pretty much be that. Could talk a little bit more if necessary, but I wanted to take a minute to quick go through our chat rooms and see what we've got. So let me go and put up just for a little bit of a change in pace. It is an Elixir of Discovery. It does not stack, I believe, with the regular Elixir of Discovery, but it is, active as with the Elixir. So, this is, I'm not sure what you're asking about being able to be purchased with DDO points. We will have more information in a FAQ page that'll be going up next Wednesday related to the timing and cost associated with some elements of the expansion, like the expansion itself. The base edition usually goes on sale, somewhere between, about 3 and 6 months after the release, usually. Kind of depends on factors. But eventually released for DDO points. We're going to have that information in the FAQ next week. But I can't break the news on that one here today. So. All right. So yes, Glass Jaws. That was the VIP thing I was talking about. There we go. I believe that the purchase is the only way to get the Spark of Logic. That would be my understanding, yes. Is it the same Epic Destiny access you have already? Correct. If you already have Epic Destiny access, then being granted it to your account here is, somewhat less exciting, of course. However, if you don't have it yet, this is an easy way to get that Epic Destiny access ahead of the work that we're doing on Epic Destinies here, in the near future here. So let me call up one more time. Give people an opportunity to just kind of take a look at this while I go through some more chat. The way you will be able to get Horizon Walker is unlockable on a per character basis through the highest tier. Currently, I believe that's 400 of Gatekeeper Favor, and that's in the release notes here as well that I'll be getting to in just a second. But yeah, you can unlock it on a per character basis. For that character, you can then in the future make a Horizon Walker in game using Favor. You can purchase it through a collector's or Ultimate Fan Edition here. Horizon Walker will not be available for DDO points on day one. Someone's pointing out the skulls on our cosmetics, huh? Okay. A Dimensional Hireling folder would be an exceptionally largest tier of Hireling folder. It'll hold the most. The logo giving you Scooby-Doo vibes, huh? Kind of thought so too. I like it though. All right, because I know right now this is, this is your chance to take a look at this prior to going live. Let me call back up that one. Where did that second image go? What did I do with it? Oop. Oh, I might have lost it, unfortunately. Well, before I go in game then, let's just drop that trailer one more time while I switch over and get a few things done. So, see you in a minute. All right, mic is off. There we go. I was just talking to myself anyway. Next up here, I wanted to briefly go over the release notes. These are clearly not published yet. This is in a state where they will be published in the near future. But I did want to kind of scroll through that a little bit just to give you a sense of what else might be in Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh. Also let you know, you'll get started with this content in the Gatekeeper's Grove. So there'll be basically a vector NPC that'll take you to the various public area and quests for it. So Gatekeeper's Grove is where you're going to want to go to find Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh. Quests are level 3 on Heroic, level 32 on Legendary. Yeah. There we go. Poison damage, let's see, we got some character stuff, some combat changes, including some work on the spellcasting system to hopefully deal with some of the spellcasting bugs that have been happening in recent updates, some dry firing of spells in certain situations. I'm not going to go through all the release notes here, but I did just kind of want to scroll through it. We're fixing an issue where trying to swap out of a missile weapon into a melee weapon wasn't queuing right. And we've also decreased monster perception range slightly. This generally will not apply to raid bonuses or custom bosses. We've done a bunch of work that I guess you've seen on Lamania to this point. So here's all the Horizon Walker that you could see, on Lamania. We have this, some other enhancement tree work. Not anything really I want to get into on a line there. Henshin Mystic SLAs will not correctly factor in their stunning bonuses. I know that one has been in the works. Radiant Servant updated, so you can see that. The Shatter Kai Iconic updated. They will get their first chain attack ability as an innate racial feat, and both chain attacks are now melee attacks, requiring a light weapon in your main hand. And you can read more about how that will scale up through the Shatter Kai Iconic enhancement tree in the release notes there. That's also currently on Lamania. On the Lamania forums, rather, in the form of release notes there. The favor, 400 Gatekeeper favor will be the Horizon Walker Universal Enhancement Tree awarded on a per-character basis. This is also the update that's going to have the Scroll, Seal, Shard loot system update, a complete refactor of that crafting system. All heroic and epic items from the Scroll, Seal, Shard system will be revamped, including items from like Fierland Carnival, Sands of Menectaran, Sentinels of Stormreach, Chronoscope, Red Fens, Voltanite, Web of Chaos. Some of these items will get level 30 legendary versions. Heroic items will continue to drop as is. Epic items will be obtained in the Altar of Epic Rituals, with a little bit of pack ingredients. We're basically moving to a pack ingredients thing to upgrade your items. Legendary items will be obtainable in a new Altar of Legendary Rituals located in the 12, with a recipe of an epic item, 100 pack ingredients, 5 star fragments, and 250 threads of fate if the item is from a raid. Star fragments are an uncommon drop from Legendary Saltmarsh, and they will become more widely available in future updates. Pack ingredients will drop wherever the seals or shards would have dropped in a moderate amount, so you'll do a couple of runs of the quest to get enough to update the one item. The ingredients are pack specific, so say chronoscope ingredients are for chronoscope stuff, etc. You'll deconstruct existing seals, scrolls, and shards down into pack ingredients of an appropriate type and quantity by speaking to Lehar and the 12, and then players with old epic items can update them into a new version by placing them into the Legacy Altar of Rituals. That's located in the 12. Please note, get rid of your augments and sentient filigree from your item prior to doing it, because it will essentially delete and recreate your item, meaning you will lose any augments or sentient filigree on it. Update 50 does have also the update about endgame itemization that we've talked quite a bit on the show here today, so I'm not going to reread this for, I guess it would be a fourth or fifth time now. But it does change quite a bit about high-tier loot. It's the same kind of stuff you've probably been reading about for a few months now, but we are pulling item values to more reasonable levels across the board, having a streamlined curve upwards from 1 to 30 with fewer jumps. It does not affect anything other than the named items found within legendary content and Caneth crafted loot that use the minimum levels 31 to 34 shards. So random loot, augments, items found within events, anything else other than named items found within legendary content and Caneth crafted loot that used the minimum level 31 to 34 shards will be changing. So, and it should say no, none of that will be changing. Alright. Items with crafted components will now have their crafted components adjusted, like the statistically set effects, and then we're also adjusting monster stats to compensate for that. There we go. We are deprecating the guild augments, the old guild augments that were in House Kundarak. That'll no longer be around. And, yes, the new Monster Manual. Free to purchase, or available to purchase free to VIPs. Monster Manual Volume 8 includes the following 8 categories: Griffin, Satyr, Goblin, Animated Objects, Living Spells, Gnome, Harpy, Merilith, Forge Wraith, and White. So there we go. There's more than 8 categories there. Okay. Or something like that. I don't know. I'll figure that out later. That's why it's not published yet. And then we've also fixed a scaling issue with some monster stats and a few quests. And, one nice thing about Zawabi, and now bestow and resolving against the Demon Queen, the 6-player pre-raid, and Zawabi's Refuge, the 12-player raid, separately. So you are now only required to complete against the Demon Queen once per life in order to play Zawabi's Revenge. After that, Zawabi will allow you to choose which quest to speak to them about. So, that's sweet. That also means it's no longer restricted by raid timer for Against the Demon Queen, and the raid timer bypass will now work on Zawabi's Refuge. We have an update to half-elves as well in this, and a smaller update to half-orc male animations. And I don't know that there's really a whole lot else to mention, other than the 64-bit game client will, as of update 50, be the default choice for new installations, and we've updated the wording on the legacy client to indicate that it is no longer supported. And that's that older legacy client as stated. So there we go. That's what I've got for you at this point, and I think, other than heading through questions again, it'll be time to really kind of go in games. So hope you've enjoyed that little bit of a preview here for Saltmarsh ahead of next week's launch. So there you go. Why is the U? Oh, I didn't even realize that was there. But okay, yeah, it's just an old staging page. Yep. All right, I think I'm caught up on Twitch chat. Let me check out YouTube. Saltmarsh is a mini expansion that is paid. You will have to purchase it. We do have a VIP promotion that we'll be doing of 10% off. In addition, we did mention earlier there's going to be a login bonus for the first month. If you've purchased an edition of Saltmarsh, you're going to get a login bonus of Elixirs of Discovery for your characters. All right. Star fragments on legendary only, I'd guess. I would expect that to be the case for the upgrades. Well, on the higher, not necessarily legendary, but the higher epic as well, perhaps. Yeah, so the Stone of Change will still be used to upgrade, to update those old items to the more recent versions of them. That's not really changing there. A Ruby of Improved Curse Spewing added to Night Revels this year. That's a pretty good idea. John on Facebook. I like that one. Right, I think I'm actually caught up. Zero Cool has a question about the VIP discount. Remember, it will not be available for DDO points for some time until after release. That's per our usual cadence for the release of things like Saltmarsh, expansions, mini expansion in this case. So you will get a 10% VIP discount when you check out from the DDO market with an active VIP subscription. Our DDO market flow nowadays has you basically create an account linked to your game account and delivers it straight to your in-game account. So that gives it the ability to know whether you're VIP or not, and if VIP, will offer you a 10% discount during checkout. So that's how that's going to work. That is different from saying that VIPs will get a discount on the DDO points from the expansion. I have not heard of any plans to do that. This is a discount in the DDO market for Saltmarsh here in particular. I'm not quite sure, Goldie Gopher, if you apply Stone of Change recipes to the, quote, new items. What do you mean the new items? So generally the old upgrade system, remember this is like, 2010 era weapons, will be updated through the Stone of Change, and newer things are not able to be updated through that. You need to have a more recent version of the item in order to take advantage of the new scroll seal shard system. And so if you do, but you've had to update that stuff anyway if you wanted to utilize the more current system anyway. So nothing is really changing as far as I understand in that regard. But the scroll seal shard system is going to be really done through a series of altars in the 12. And that's what you've seen on Lamania as well. We need a teleport items bag. Yeah, at some point, something like that. Will this last week of July be the last summer sale? Are we doing a 5th week? This week, we're doing one more week that kicks off tomorrow morning Eastern Time. And I can get to that in a little bit, although I can't drop the knowledge about what's going to be on sale. Sorry about that. I'm not really allowed to preview specifics about sales. But I can, however, get you a sense of the bonus and what have you. So we'll do that. I'm looking up the bonus right now. Yes, there is a Heroic and Epic Saga for Saltmarsh. Alright, so, yes, we've got double daily dice that'll be taking place. Remember, that is twice the amount of XP you'll get in your double daily dice XP, a boost, kicking off late morning Eastern Time tomorrow and running through Sunday, August 1st. Additionally, this is our second weekend of a plus 15% additional VIP XP weekend. So VIPs are getting plus 25% as well through Sunday. I could also say that we are doing one last week of summer sales. That'll kick off late morning Eastern Time tomorrow. I'm not allowed to say what's in it, however. I would say that today really is your last day to pick up Sovereign Guild-renowned elixirs at 75% off, half off Vistani Knife Fighter Universal Enhancement Tree, half off the Racial Action Point Tome +1, and 30% off character slots. So you might want to take advantage of that if you need any of that sort of thing. I actually have managed to not do my gold dice yet. At least I don't think so. I guess let's find out. So that I can actually take advantage tomorrow, unless I accidentally do it on the year today. I don't think so, Goldie Gopher. You're asking if you can upgrade if you have already upgraded a weapon, can you apply a Stone of Change recipe, i.e. Adamantine Ritual? I don't remember what the current flow is for that. I believe, don't you currently, though? I mean, you wouldn't want to do, there's no reason you'd ever want to do that, though, right? But theoretically, if you did want to do that, currently as it works, it'll consume those sentient jewels and filigree, right? I would believe that's the case as it currently stands. So I wouldn't do it. But I don't actually know the answer of trying to put an old 2006 era adamantine ritual on brand new updated loot from the Manectarian. Other than that, I'd say don't do it, maybe, until someone checks it out, because, I don't know. You do not get the Lizard Volk cosmetic image on the right. Does the cosmetic give you face, armor, and body type of a Lizard Volk? Let me... Oops. Sorry. Let me call that up real quick. Kind of show... So, what you're looking at here, the top is the hat. That's sort of the face mask bit that I'll go over. And then you've got the armor here. And then there's a cloak associated with it as well. That, you know, is on this image's back. But there's a cloak associated with it. And then you've got the mount here. And then the lizard cosmetic. So, I think that answers your question. It doesn't change your body type per se. It works like you would expect. off. Turn that off. There we go. So, I think that for the most part, that's the news of the day for the show. The rest is, I think, largely going to have to wait until next week when we get a little bit more detail on some of your questions. But I wanted to give you a sneak peek as to what's going on here next week and give you an opportunity to take a look at those pages that are still a work in progress, but are, you know, there for you to take a look at today. And they'll be published live that Wednesday when we go live. Off the top of my head, I don't want to speak to what the level of the hireling is. I can't remember what we ended up. I thought it was 5 and 30? 5 and 28? Something like that? Maybe I'm totally off base there. Can't remember. 3. Hireling is 330. Okay, thank you, Coco, in chat.
A smashed wagon stands in the middle of the road, all that remains of an ambushed caravan.
It may be that you're going to have to do a little bit of work if you do want to change, you know, the heroic to epic under the new system, but it shouldn't be too onerous.
Small, squalid cave entrances dot the ravine walls.
And, you know, none of this is really new information. This is all stuff that's been around on Lamania and elsewhere for quite some time, but yeah. It might mean a little bit more work for you. But the end result's going to be a much newer, better system, I think, throughout the rest of the game's experience here for Update 50 and beyond. So, that's pretty good.
As you walk deeper into the cave, you hear deep, guttural voices in the distance. You notice a small iron key in the corner of the room.
I believe, I'm not exactly sure the entire determination as to why level 3, but it made sense given kind of the story, the positioning of it taking place kind of after Keep and what have you here in Feywild. Or it has to do with placement of really the story as much as anything. And offering things at that level as an alternative, I believe, is really the main thing.
You notice the glint of silver in the far corner of this chamber. As the first lever is pulled, the crystal above it flares into life.
So, Sufik 111 asked basically, is this the monster manual that got announced earlier this year?
On this
What did I do with
surprisingly
that?
well-crafted
Just not
rock.
pick it up. I did. Go. I believe that it probably is the one that got referenced back then, but I would have to re-remember what specifically we were, where that kind of statement came from. But probably. That's probably the monster manual that was referenced. Producer's letter, yeah. That sounds right.
huddled humans dressed in rags flinch away from the door as you open it.
Is the trailer for Saltmarsh posted on the forums? No. It is currently being staged over on our YouTube page. It'll be published, I believe the intention is to publish it certainly by day of, but I think there's a chance that'll be out by this weekend, you know, a little bit ahead of time here. So.
Sliding open. As the door opens, you see several humans in chains crouching against the walls.
Yes, there is still an intention to create a system for gifting with the new DDO market. Clearly, it's taken a while to get there. No ETA to announce. It is on our wish list, though, of things that we would like to make possible. I'm just going to stand here. I'm not afraid.
As the chieftain
All right.
dies, you notice a small ornate key on the table in the far corner of the room.
Will I die today? Hopefully not.
The door to the treasury opens with a satisfying click. The large rusty lock on this chest looks like it could be
Sure wish I
picked.
had a rogue hireling with me. And that'll be happening soon. Yeah. No, there was nothing wrong necessarily with the older market, but it was really using a lot of outdated systems that we wanted to update. Everything from modern purchase flow to being able to deliver it to an account through... We wanted to get rid of the old code-based system, which was problematic for a whole bunch of reasons, up to and including things like unreliable email delivery. You know, when you have codes being sent through email like that, there's a fairly decent chance that a small but not insignificant percentage of them are just not going to deliver. Whether it's because your ISP has blocked it or whatever, could be a bunch of different reasons. However, it is an actual thing. And so we've long wanted to get rid of that old code-based system. So we did that, quite a while ago now. And instead it delivers straight to your account. One of the things about that is, though, is that then you need to create a system in order to be able to gift to someone else's account, so to speak. And that work has not yet been able to take place.
Shut as you enter. There's now only one way to go.
Will there be a DDO email marketing blast?
As this cave is said to contain
maybe.
much treasure. A burly minotaur stands
My
behind
understanding
the
is that's our hope, is to get out, to get out one of those email newsletters for the first time in a little while here, related to that. But we'll see how it goes. Stay tuned. I know I could run past it, but I'm not going to because I am paranoid.
This crest matches one of the sockets on the Minotaur's barrier. There must be more somewhere in the cave.
If your video keeps pausing, I think that may unfortunately be something somewhat related to a setting on my end. I am not... Well, I haven't really been able to look. Let me see if I can see anything in the Facebook feed or something. It's possible that I'm straining my computer a bit trying to send 3 1080p feeds out from my computer. I'm not really seeing any hitching, at least on my little window here for Facebook. Could also be that your whatever you're using to access the video feed, you might need to move it down from 1080p to 720 or something like that for bandwidth or other concerns. Should be automatic pretty much nowadays, so that shouldn't really be an issue for most, but... I do like it, though. Yeah, I am hoping... I've been trying to do a 1080p broadcast for a while, and I think ultimately the solution is going to be returning to the office, where I am able to use the, office's internet to have much better internet, rather than my ISP at home, which I actually have fine home internet service, not criticizing that at all. But having a dedicated line will allow me to pull off, I think, a better quality feed. And so I believe in the relatively near future, I may actually be starting to trek back into the office on Wednesdays and Fridays for the other game for these live streams. I'd like to get a good backdrop. I'd like to kind of get all that set, make my long-term wishes a reality, and have a nice little backdrop for the Wednesday show, and then
With all three crests neatly fitted into their sockets,
stream it all in 1080p. That would be my hope.
gives a roar of rage.
And I might even get a green screen or something for DDO.
Cut short as it collapses. Now the treasure the creature had been guarding is yours for the taking.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up, by the way, Grasskitch. DDO Cast is having its next Ask the Devs. That's at 3 p.m. Eastern today. And I believe, I don't know if Coco Majobo's actually in this one. I know Linabelle, Steel Star, and Torque and myself will be there. And that's at 3 p.m. Eastern, and my understanding is that will be most likely streamed to twitch.tv/DDOcast, and then it'll be their next episode there as well. So, river. You can't pick up the coin piles? Well, by this point, you're just like, wow, who needs that? There you go. Yeah, I would expect to get a lot of good information in the DDO Cast Ask the Devs that'll be coming up. I don't think it's necessarily going to be a huge amount about Saltmarsh. I believe the focus is largely intended to be Epic Destinies and some kind of systems like that. However, you know, that's really going to be one of the next things once Saltmarsh is out the door here that we really take quite a bit of time to look at. So, perhaps, for those of you interested, it should be a good show here at 3 o'clock. So, how to get the Rogue Hireling. The Heroic Rogue Hireling will be available in the Collector's and Ultimate editions of Saltmarsh. And the Epic Hireling will be available in the Ultimate edition of Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh, which will be launched in 1 week.
Each direction leads to a different
I say
tribe's
no.
home.
It's totally going to happen. Yep, Rogue Hire. I know. So I have to admit, I think that we'll see. You know, what are the long-standing sort of, well, if we do a Rogue Hireling, does that mean no one's going to want a Rogue anymore? I have a feeling the answer is going to be Rogues will still be very, very valuable. But we'll see. I guess the answer will finally be determined. When do we get a Bullywug playable class? Nothing to announce. People sure are digging the Bullywug, though, so who knows, right? Under the heading of we should probably give people what they want, maybe it could happen someday. I believe I've got 2 of the crests, so before I do, I should get the 3rd. It'll also help with the secret door like this one. I don't know if one barbarian's... I don't think my barbarian's gonna get the job done, so I may have to do this the old-fashioned way. Right? I'm not gonna be able to find that secret door. Alright. Rogue will only be level 3 or 30, so rogues will still be wanted. Oh, absolutely. I mean, yes, absolutely. I have zero concerns about that. But I do think it's going to be useful in a lot of situations, well, where a rogue hireling has long been useful, I guess, right?
This orc seems fiercer than the rest of the Frost Rager clan. Letting him live will just leave a possible new chief who must be dealt with in the future. A tripwire snaps and a gong clangs in response. Fortunately for you, the orc guards who would normally respond to this alarm are already dead.
Kind of glad we did that. That's cool.
The wall here is decorated with the skulls of elves, humans, and dwarves in various stages of decay. The Ash Tusk like to display their brutality proudly.
Touche, Robert Hall on YouTube. Touche. Giving people what they want. What, like a searchable TR cache? Okay, okay. Burn! Feeling the burn on that one. Nicely done. Yeah. Saltmarsh is not yet live. A week from today is our current plan to release Saltmarsh. Of course, nothing's official until it's here. We'll have the announcement and such next week. But, all signs point to yes, so.
This is the armory of the Ash Tusk clan. Without weapons and armor, the tribe will be much less dangerous.
I've got nothing. I got nothing. Alright. I believe actually have talked in the past about why a search for the TR cache is less likely, and that is that to do that work would involve a lot of work, and if we have the ability to do a lot of work with the TR cache, then there are better ways to spend that time related to the TR cache. Remember, the TR cache was never intended to be a form of long-term storage, and that it has become so is, you know, an unfortunate reality that we have to deal with, but at the same time is not necessarily the direction we would move forward were we to resolve the TR cache issue. So we'll see what we end up doing there, but the idea of making a searchable version of it would involve largely redoing the system, and if we're redoing the system, then there are some better ways we could spend our time. I think I don't really have time to do Temple of Evil Chaos here, so maybe I will call it a share a few minutes early. Just sorted alphabetically. Yeah, that would be an option too, but... Sufuk 111, I believe I've already answered that question, maybe even from you. You know, has EG7 done anything that affected DDO? You know, we don't talk about our relationship with our partners, and so we really just can't talk about that. But we have talked in the past about how one of the advantages of the current setup is that we have a lot of trust in what we're doing, and we're able to really do a lot more with what we have. And so we've been seeing some of that, and things have been going great. But other than that, I can't really get into any sort of discussion about other partners and companies and ownership and all that kind of stuff. So it's just not appropriate for the show here. Yes, play the trailer one last time before I go. I'm actually intending to do that here. So. Can we get filters in Matt's bank? Perhaps. Can we get Snapchat filters for our avatars? Yes. No. I'm kidding. Zero Cool, we're going to have a lot more information about the revamp of Epic Destinies and gameplay balance. You're asking about my personal feelings about it. I'd rather hear your feelings about it here with Update 50 and beyond. You know, we've got a lot of good gameplay stuff that's been tested on Lamania and elsewhere here that'll be going live next week. And the Epic Destiny system did get an early preview on Lamania in June, right, as well. And so we'll be returning to that with another preview once Update 50 is out the door and the time is right. So we'll have a lot there, but I think there's a lot to look forward to in terms of functionality, usability, and future-proofing of these various systems in a way that hopefully a lot of you will really appreciate. All right. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to wrap things up with the trailer and then call it a show. I will see you next Wednesday for more of the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. And assuming that it does go live, we will almost certainly be checking out Saltmarsh next week. So have fun, everyone. Talk to you again soon.